what's going on, guys? Welcome to Aries EDC and another edition of TNFNU Thoughts and Feelings and Updates. So, what do I want to talk to you guys about today? Well, it came up recently in a live stream that I was in that, somebody started asking questions about knives and blah, blah, blah. And the host of that stream correctly was like, well, I see knives as a tool. And it got me thinking, especially with a week like right now with Blade Show going on, with all the attention that's going on right now when it comes to knives. I think anybody who's in the community, it's our responsibility to try to put a positive spin on knives. There is a negative stigma or connotation when it comes to knives. It's just there. That's the truth. That's reality. I don't think anybody would really argue that. And I think that most of us in the community see knives as tools, where some people see them as something that could use to cause harm to somebody, and that's it. And although I'm not ignorant to say that's not the case, because there are knives that are designed strictly for self-defense or strictly for tactical or strictly to cause harm to somebody else. But for the most part, knives are tools. They are cutting tools meant to take care of any of your daily cutting tasks, and when you need it, it's there for you. And that's why I enjoy to have a knife, because whenever that comes, I need the right tool for the right job, and knives come in for many tools and many jobs. So I think right now, anybody who's in the content creating or sharing or in this world, it's kind of our responsibility to get that out there. To get that out into the public, that it's not a negative thing and it's not there to hurt or cause harm. They're there for tools. Why do I carry a knife every day? Because when the time arises, I have the right tool for the right job, and it's there. And it 9 times out of 10 is going to come up on a daily basis, and you're really glad you had it, instead of trying to do something you probably shouldn't be using to cut with. Keys, or etc. So having the right tool for the right job, and that's what knives are. And then we take it a step further, we being the community in a whole, not just people on YouTube. And we start to see the beauty and the craftsmanship and the materials and the fidgetability, the just the tactile play that comes with it. I know for me, sometimes my knives end up being that adult fidget toy. I have to be doing something, so bling, ching, 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 I'll pull out the knife, and then my wife's like, "Can you just put it away, please? Please?" But it's one of those things. But I think it boils down to education. And we educate the public on the knives. And the more people are educated, the less stigma and the less negative connotation that there might be. But it's up to us as a community to do that. And now with Blade Show going on, I really hope that we as a community hold it together, can be, I hate to say, a little professional, and understand that if we really start going crazy and start doing things that are uncalled for, then that puts a negative light on the things that we love. And that's when rules and regulations and all these things start to come about. And we don't want that. We should all be able to carry a knife. We should all be able to carry a fixed blade. We should all be able to carry a folder. Because whatever our needs are for the day, you need it. But there is that negative connotation that goes along with it. For instance, here's a little story. I live in the Central Florida area. And, you know, we had the Pulse shooting that happened several years ago. But afterwards, everybody was pushing in all the workplaces what to do if that arises. You have an active gunman on your place of business. How do you handle those situations? And we had a member of law enforcement come in and give us a talk and start talking to us about, you know, what's going on and maybe how to identify somebody who might be in your workplace that could do that. And it kind of, everybody was up in arms, and it was a very sensitive time. And one of the comments that he made was, like, if you know has a coworker who has hundreds of knives, that might be a red flag. And of course, some of the people who knew me kind of gave me the little, oh really? Do we need to keep an eye on this guy? And it was annoying, because I'm fine. I'm not going to run in and start doing something I shouldn't be doing just because I love a blade and I like to use a knife for all the things you should be using it for. I don't see a knife as self-defense. I don't. It's a cutting tool, but I'm not ignorant to the fact that it could be used as self-defense if need be. I don't make my knives to be self-defense tools. I make them to be cutting tools, EDC carry blades. But I also know that when it goes down and you have that, it could be used to self-defense. I mean, even something like a minimalist, CRK-10 minimalist, is going to do enough damage to somebody to stop them. So they're all tools, but they could be used in other ways. But, you know, I just think it's an educational thing, and I think we really need to take this serious and educate the public so that we can remove some of these negative connotations that we run into all the time, where somebody sees a knife and the first reaction is what it'll do. Yeah, that'll take care of somebody real quick. And when I share a knife, like people at work, I'll bring them something I'm working on sometimes, just to be like, hey guys, look at this. And that's some of the first reactions I get. And that's not what I don't appreciate that, and I don't like it. But I also know that's what people think. And it's my job to try to sway them from thinking that way. You know, what am I going to use it for in my daily life? Well, cut open a bag, cut some rope, cut open a box, break down a box, you know, cut a tie strap. These are all things that on a daily basis I'm using it for. So, I don't know. I think it's our job, especially people who have kind of a spotlight on them. Not that my amount of followers, but I think anybody who's going to put out content, you really need to think about it. Are you putting a negative light on the community that we love? From people outside the community, maybe within the community everybody understands, but that's kind of not what's important. We want people from outside the community to understand what we're talking about and to not be offended and to not think that we're a bunch of heathens swinging knife arounds and we're going to go slash up the movie theater. That's not what we want. So keep it in mind, and let's try to spread the good word of the tool message. I think that's probably the smart message that we should be sending out, especially right now with Blade Show going on. So that's what I got. I hope I didn't get in the weeds there, but all right, updates. So number one, Aries EDC t-shirts are available on the Etsy store. 2 different models available. You have the black logo, and then you have the white logo, so you can get a black shirt with the white logo or darker colors with the white logo. And then very, very soon there will be another one. There will be another shirt available very, very soon that might have something to do with that guy right there. So keep an eye out because it's coming very, very soon. I hope. I hope. So check out the shirt. Very reasonable. They're really cool. Very comfortable. So, and thank you for everybody who got one. I was kind of hoping to get them out by Blade Show, but it just didn't work out. So anyway, thank you. So the builds, let's talk about some of the builds. The May builds are all sitting right over here. I'm working on a video right now. I'm in the middle of shooting a video on them, but I can show you that they are all glued up. So the stigma with the lava flow, the bloom with the blue kieranite, and finally the bloom harpoon with the Gemascus. That stuff is gonna look pretty cool. So those guys are all glued up, and hopefully during the live stream this week I'm going to be working on handles and getting all the handles done on them. I'm hoping by the end of tomorrow I got all those in really good shape where the handles are done and I can start cleaning them up and get the sheath started, and then hopefully by the end of this weekend they'll be done, and then I could turn all my attention to June. So let's talk a little bit about June. The Magna Cut stigma is out at Heat Treat. They've received it, and it's been in receiving all week. All week long, it hasn't moved. It's been in receiving, so they haven't done anything. Good thing I'm not in a hurry to get it back. So it is what it is, and I will get it done as soon as I can. The spike. You guys ready? I shared a picture on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, you gotta follow me on Instagram. The spike has been stone washed or tumbled. So I got that nice tumbled finish on that blade. Maker's mark. Check out that side. So the spike is looking pretty awesome. And in that video, I said what kind of handle material I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing the black micarta with a blue liner. So I'm going black and blue on this one. I've done a bunch of black and red. So I'm going to do the black micarta with a blue liner and blue pins and two, which are rotter. So we're going to do blue and black. I decided that's what I'm going to do for the first spike. So the spike is 3.5 fingers. So the handle's a little longer than a thorn. You can kind of really scrunch up, get a pinky on there, but of course I'm going to put a lanyard on it, so that helps. So boom, you're going to make up here a lot, so you got your 3 fingers on the handle. You can get your index finger out here on the point to really be able to get into any of these cuts, break down a box. You can really get in there. So really liking the design of the spike. Came out really good. Really happy with the way that thing is coming out right now, and looking forward to what's going on. What happened there? Got a little spot right there. I'm gonna have to work that out. Then that only leaves the other two, and I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Are you ready for this? I have a video coming out, and I really don't want to give this away. But you guys are so awesome, especially the ones that watch the TNFNU, because the TNFNUs definitely don't get as many views as some of the other videos, but I guess that's on them. So the the two Damascus have been acid etched. I shared many times with you guys, and I did some shorts that they were all high polished, not mirror, but pretty mirror polished. And so it was time for me to etch them. I wasn't going to keep them high polished. So today I just etched these, and they just got done etching the first etch. So this was about a 25-30 minute etch. Hope you guys ready. You guys ready? I don't know if you're ready. The bud. I don't need to say anything, right? I don't need to say anything. So that's the bud. Whew. And then the Tobiko. Man, look at that. I really hope you guys are liking that. That thing looks crazy. So that was the first etch. I'm pretty happy with the etch that I got on the first one. So I think next is just a coffee etch. So I'm gonna do the coffee etch, and the coffee etch is an overnight type of thing, an 8-hour etch, to really get it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the pattern on the spine, you can see the pattern on like the spine of the blade. There's no way I'm going to be able to really get in and show you guys that, but Tobiko looks good, and the bud looks good. I haven't done a bud in a while, and I like that blade. It's a really, really cool blade shape, and I got them both super thin at the edge, so they're going to have a nice tight edge on them. It's going to be really, really cool. So the June is already looking good. The spike is ready for handles, so I can start doing handles on that one. And these guys are halfway through their etch, and then once I'm done with the etching, then I can start looking at handles. And that kind of scares me, but I'm gonna get there. Because the mammoth molar, I'm hoping that the mammoth molar works out. I know I got a little wobble on that one, but I'm gonna glue it all back together, and I'm hoping that mammoth molar. Okay, so here we go. You guys want to see that? The mammoth molar with the acid etched Damascus. Come on, that's gonna look bad. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look really good. So I got that going. And then the only other update I really have for you guys is gonna have to be done in a separate video. This has been a journey, and I have been able to reflect. I've been able to sit down and really crunch some numbers. And when I started this, I was just trying to get myself out there. And now I'm out there. And you guys have been amazing and supportive. And anything I throw out there, you're like, yes, do it. Go for it. We love you. Your work is great. You're an artist. Which I'm not going to believe any of that. But it's been amazing. And the goal is for me to do this full time. That's my goal. I would love to do this full time, and I'm striving to do it. I've put out my designs to some production. I would love for a bloom, a rockhopper, a thorn, something like that to be put into production for you guys. But, it's just nothing's happening with any of that, which is fine. I'm working on some other ideas to try to push that along. I've only really heard back from one knife company, and they were like, nah, we're not interested at this time. Which is fine. I know those designs aren't like mind-blowing designs or anything, but my goal is to get some models in production that through a company, not OEM, but just through a company, kind of like the Dust Devil with Kubi, where Kubi is selling the Dust Devil with the Under Tempest, or the Phoenix with Kaiser. That is something that I think I would do. I don't have the funds to do an OEM. That would be awesome, where I'm responsible for selling and pushing the merchandise. But at this time, I just can't do that. And now, starting in July, the books are going to open back up. But there's going to be a video coming out about that, because I really, like I said, got a chance to sit down and I really had to rethink my prices. You guys knew it was coming at some point in time, but if I'm going to make this into something that is sustainable, something that I'm going to be able to do, then I want to be able to give you guys what you want, but do what I want to do. And I have a goal, and it's a 1.5-year goal. In a 1.5 years, I want to be doing this much more and putting content out, and also producing as many as I can, upping my books, upping my stuff I'm selling on Etsy, and just upping everything, and creating more models that I can put into CAD, like the column, or stigma, trying to get that into a CAD so I can get blanks, trying to turn maybe the CAD designs into full fleshed out kind of designs that I can sell to production companies. I don't know. These are all the coals that are in the fire, and I'm laying it all out for you guys. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it because nothing's really happening. The only thing that's happening is the t-shirts. That's the only thing that's happening. But I have full control over that. But the production stuff, I would love to be able to have it out for you guys. It's just not happening. And that's fine. I just keep pushing forward and keep making. You guys have shown your appreciation, and you're the ones who really matter to me. You're the ones that I'm doing it for, and we're gonna do it together. The channel's growing. I got 1,200 subscribers, going up to 313, and I'm getting very close to being able to offer communities and memberships and monetization offerings for myself, for the channel, etc. So that helps as well. The 1.5-year goal, I'll tell you guys, by January 2026, the goal is, my goal, I'm saying it now, on Thursday, June 6th, the goal is that I'm working at my job 2 days a week and doing knives the rest of the time. I'm pumping out 5 book spots and 5 of Scott's Choice, and just boom, boom, boom. So 10 blades a month, maybe 11. Just throwing them out, building the Etsy store, building my clientele, just building my shop, building everything. And that's my goal. and my goal is set, and I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. But I had to relook at prices, and I had to relook at my time. And based on the math, I was giving away a lot of my time. But you guys are great, and I don't want to end that, because everything I do is because I love this. I love creating. I love coming up with new stuff and getting you guys excited about seeing new stuff. The new column is incoming, so I'm going to be working on getting that flushed out this month, because the June stuff is almost, we're halfway through the June builds. We're looking at doing handles for one and the finishing touches on the blades so that I can start doing handles on these, and that won't take that long. So we're getting there. All right, I have rambled way too much, and you're probably tired of hearing me talk. So guys, thank you. Please remember, it's our responsibility to spread the good word. Knives are tools, not means of destruction. All right, subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is yours. Have a good one, guys.